This, my friends, is the Nintendo Switch 2. I've been playing this thing for about a week now, and let me tell you, this is some of the most fun I've had playing video games in a long time. Just right off the bat, rip off the band-aid, I have not played Cyberpunk or Mario Kart World, and I'm planning on getting Cyberpunk sometime in the future, but $70 after buying this is a bit much. But right now, I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Scarlet. I've been playing some Xenoblade X on this thing. These are Switch 1 games. The Pokemon Scarlet does have a Switch 2 free update, but I'll get to that in a second. The build quality on this thing is incredible. So I 3D printed some grips because still this thing does get uncomfortable, but not near as much as the original Switch and the Switch OLED. This feels like the big boy Switch. One, the colors are a lot more subdued, which I like it. At the same time, I don't love it. I kind of miss the nice, fun colors. But for what we have, this honestly feels like a big boy Switch. And it looks upgraded just by the colors. The feel of the Joy-Cons and the back of the Switch, the soft plastic, is really nice. And it's honestly... all around, it looks like an upgrade. It feels like an upgrade. The Joy-Con magnetic, the connection is incredible. I don't know why Nintendo just didn't do this in the first place. One, it seems a little bit simpler. Magnets seem simpler than the whole sliding mechanism. But here we are. I'm not an engineer. I don't know how this stuff works. It's so addicting while I'm playing just to snap on the magnets. I'm probably going to break it just by how much I'm snapping on and off the magnets. It's so much fun. It's addicting. So I've been playing Pokemon for about a week now on Pokemon Scarlet, and it feels like a whole new game. It's sad to say this is what Pokemon Scarlet should have been, when it first came out, but I showed it to a friend of mine on the Switch. With the larger screen, with how bright the screen is compared to the Switch 1, not the OLED, but the Switch 1, it's a whole new game. The Switch OLED, the OLED screen is beautiful. The OLED screen is really nice. I was using that for a while, and honestly, I loved it, but with how small the screen was, to me, I couldn't play handheld games that long because of how small the screen was. This screen size is almost perfect. I absolutely love how big the screen is. I love how much you can see in the game, how vibrant everything looks, even though it's an LED screen, how vibrant and smooth it looks. Xenoblade looks really, really nice on the Switch 2. It doesn't stutter. It didn't get an upgrade, but maybe it just doesn't need one. I wish it would run at 60 right now. I think it's running at 30, but it's an even 30 frames per second. You see no dips. I don't think I've seen any dips in Xenoblade X. Pokemon, there's still some dips, but I blame that more on it being a Pokemon game than anything else. And we'll see how Legend ZA looks sometime in the future. I'm really excited to play Metroid 4 when it comes out in a few weeks or a couple months, who knows? Because that's going to be able to take advantage of the 120 hertz screen on this thing. I'm ecstatic that it has 120 hertz power so that in the future, games further down the future will take advantage of this thing. We're probably going to be using the Switch 2, for the next 8 years. And so what games are going to come out in the next 8 years? Yeah, this thing is kind of outdated already compared to the PS5, compared to the Steam Deck. Here's the deal. This thing works right out the box. I can play it in the backyard. I can play it in the car. I can play it anywhere. Whereas the PlayStation 5, I can't. So if I can play Cyberpunk on this and have 90% the same experience that I am on the PS5, but with the PS5, I'm glued to the couch. With this, I'm not. Then this is so much better in my opinion. The fact that I can have a almost PS5 in my pocket, a PS4 Pro, PS4 maybe, in my pocket is incredible. It's an incredible idea, and I'm excited to see what games will take advantage of it in the future. Cyberpunk right now, we're getting Final Fantasy VII integrated later. We're getting Star Wars Outlaws on the Switch 2 later. I really hope maybe Clair Obscur comes on the Switch 2. Assassin's Creed Shadows. And again, these games might not run as incredibly as they do on the PS5, but if they can run 85 to 90% of the way there on the Switch 2, which I'm sure they can, then we're cooking. This is incredible. Not to mention, it's so much cheaper than buying a PS5 and a handheld, because this is, it's a 2-in-1. You can dock it, play it on a TV. It comes with the dock, comes with a high-speed HDMI cable. It comes with everything you need to dock it, and then undock it, play it handheld. Works great both ways. So I've played this docked, not near as much as I have handheld because I love doing handheld. I've played this docked a little bit, and honestly, it's great. It's not bad. My TV does do 120 hertz, but even if yours doesn't, if yours does do at least 60, 4K 60, then the Switch 2 is going to look great on it. I was playing Hogwarts Legacy on the Switch 2, and true, it doesn't look near as good as it does on the PS5. But again, I think it looks 85% of the way there. And if it looks 85% of the way there, then I can play it on the TV, which playing on the TV, it makes me miss playing on my PS5. You take this thing handheld, I'm playing in bed, Hogwarts Legacy, something that my PS5 I cannot play in bed because it's in the living room. And so all in all, should you pick up a Nintendo Switch 2? I'm going to let you answer that for yourself. I don't know. I picked it up. I absolutely adore playing this thing. Even to me, the screen size itself was one of the biggest updates. I love how bright the screen is. I love how great it looks. Unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to mess with the HDR on this thing, which is with the games I have been playing. But the fact that it does do HDR, I wish it was OLED. We'll get an OLED in the future. It's incredible. But for the screen size itself and the bigger Joy-Cons makes this thing quality of life improvements that are really worth it to me. And especially if you have an OLED and you can sell your OLED or trade in your OLED and get the Switch 2 at effectively half price, then that's not a bad idea at all. Some of the downsides of the Switch 2 is the battery. The battery on this thing kind of sucks. There were some battery issues where if you went into recovery mode on the Switch 2, it would fix it, but essentially the battery percentage would show a lower battery than what the Switch actually had. So once it got to like 1%, it kind of just stayed there. I mean, you get what you get, you don't throw a fit. We got kind of worse battery, but everything else to me is so much better. And the last downside, and I absolutely hate this, and again, screen size is one of the biggest things for me. Look how big those bezels are. I absolutely hate how big the bezels are. It makes it feel like older tech. But then you get to playing it, you get lost in the game, and you don't see the bezels anymore. For the quality of life improvements, for how nice the system is, for the games that you'll be able to play now and in the future on the Switch 2, I think the Switch 2 is honestly worth it. I've never played a Steam Deck, but I've heard that you can't even get a Steam Deck like at Best Buy or Walmart or wherever. You have to order it from Steam, and it's a whole thing to get it to you, and then it doesn't work right out of the box. Whereas this, it does. And soon enough, you'll be able to go to Best Buy and Walmart and just pick it up off the shelf. I mean, I got to go to a GameStop midnight release, and that was a lot of fun, even though people were just standing in line on their phones. That's a lot of fun. We're not going to get this again for another, 8 years. So let me know what you think of the Switch 2 in the comments down below. Do you like Switch videos, or do you want just all Apple stuff? Let me know what you think. I'm Jake. This is Shot on My Phone.